Perfect, 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 perfect.
smokes, look who's back. Look who's back. Look who's back. What up, Mike? It is Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the boys are back together for the first time in fucking weeks.
Yes.
What's up?
Yes. The boys are back in town. We're back. I am back. Kyle is back. Kyle's been here, but he's still back. Back in action. Better than ever.
Now, you know what?
Ready
I've been
for an
trying to hold
action-packed
down. I've been
Mike
trying to hold
Mish.
down the fort.
Yes.
And I just keep getting messages from Big Ben and the Cali boys and Joe Ivy. Like, you're all right, but where the fuck is Mike? That's what they keep saying. And I'm like, you know what?
I don't believe it.
You know what? I fucking hate you cocksuckers, you fucking sons of bitches. No, they haven't been saying that shit to me. But Mike, it is good to see you back. You are back from MLC. You are all schooled up, and I hope that you're done with schools for the rest of your Army career. What do you think?
I hope I'm done with schools myself. I hope I'm done. I don't like school. I don't like doing school, but I do lie to my kids and I tell them, be good in school. You know what I'm saying? I do that. I didn't do that. I wasn't good, but I tell them to do it. See, this guy, hypocrite.
You know what?
But yeah, man, school is not fun.
No. So just to give you guys an idea, a couple years, I think 5 years ago now, I did the same school that Mike did, but 5 years ago it was COVID.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to go to do the same thing he did, but they made it distance learning.
Yeah.
Everything's online. So I sat right here, actually in this chair,
fun.
and I did one whole month. It was 42 days of online training to learn how to be a master leader in the United States Army, to become a fucking master sergeant. What they did to Michael here and his classmates was, I'm pretty sure, pretty damn close at least, everything that I learned over a 42-day period, distance learning, they crunched that shit down to 2 weeks. Is that about right?
That is pretty close to correct. I think they give you guys a few extra things, but man, I was nonstop for 2 weeks. I was up till like 12 midnight, maybe 1 a.m. on some nights, just writing papers. Everyone told me it wasn't going to be easy. When I was there, I was like, oh yeah, I can do this. By the third day, I was doing the same thing that everyone told me I would do. And I was sitting there and I was like, I can't do this. I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to make it. I'm just going to give up. I can't do this. Yeah, like a little bitch. I was in there feeling sorry
it's
for myself.
taxing, and you have to write mad papers, or you have
I
to
hate
write
writing
tons of papers. And did you have to write like an 18-page paper to end the whole thing, or no?
We did not do that. We wrote a paper on our own that was like 5 pages, and we did not work with someone else, but we did have to make a briefing of it and do it on your own. So it was by yourself, along with 3 other pages and a whole bunch of other stupid stuff.
Long story short, it sounds like it fucking sucks. And congratulations to you. You completed it. Mike is a trained up master sergeant in the Army now.
That's correct.
Everybody say congratulations to Michael in the comments.
Thank you.
If you don't, you clearly hate him if you don't say
yeah. Next stop, Sergeant Major's Academy for 18 months. Right.
I have currently turned down Sergeant Major Academy 3 times now, I think.
Oh, you don't love going to 18 months of academy?
I don't have 18 months to spare, my friend. Dude, I have too much fun with my kids' sports and my life. I just don't have that time.
And here.
In this show and traveling for the BKFC events, I would much rather do all that right now at this point in my life than go to 18 months of school for Sergeant Major Academy. So, with that said, Mike, we're still sponsored. Did you know that?
No, I know that. I know that.
We are sponsored by Full Blast Clothing. Let's go. I'm going to pull this up right quick and hold that shirt up in a second, though. Full Blast Clothing. Get over to fullblastclothing.com. Get over to Full Blast Clothing on Instagram. Follow them. Hit the link in the bio and go buy some of their stuff, because they're a brand for the fighters and the fight fans. There they are. Go Full Blast in everything that you do, just like me and Mike do. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And before we start the show, before we really bring on our first guest and we kick this thing off, we do.
Let's start off with a bang.
I know, Mike, I know that you don't want to talk about this, but I'm just going to say a quick rest in peace to Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Because what happened today in the United States of America was a fucking travesty. It was an assassination. And I was telling my wife, Charlie Kirk could be the president of the United States a decade from now. He was that powerful, that level-headed. He knew how to do his thing. All he was doing was talking for the people. And apparently you just can't talk in the United States anymore.
No, you can't.
Radicals out there that do crazy shit. And it was kind of heart-wrenching and really sad to see. And when I first heard the news today, I was sad. But then I saw the video. And then I was like, holy shit, I want to fucking cry.
Disgusting. So, it's disgusting. Don't fucking kill people because they don't believe what you believe. This is why, and then I'm not going to get deep. And this is why Kyle said I didn't want to talk about it, not because
we're like just real quick. I feel we would be remiss to not say something though. Yeah,
but doesn't matter. This is ridiculous. Violence. It's ridiculous. This guy, all he did was talk to people, whether you liked him or not. All he did was talk to people. So we need to be kind to each other. All right. Now let's escape from the world. Right, Kyle? Let's escape from the world because we have a triple header tonight. And up first, we're starting this off great. I cannot wait. I've got to go. We've got to go.
Mike,
we've got to play this video. And
we're gonna find out why he's the most hated fighter or most hated man in combat sports today. Go ahead, Mike.
All right. When we come back, we will be joined by Lex Ludlow. Let's go.
All right, Lex. Come on over here, man. Hey, way to go to war. That was a very entertaining fight with you and Connor. I mean, you've done a lot in combat sports, but BKFC is new territory for you. What's your experience been like, man? You came in here, first fight, an absolute war.
I don't care about the experience. I'm here for one thing and one thing only. I'm here to call out the biggest name in combat sports. I would like everybody to be quiet so Dave Feldman can hear me. I want to be the main event of Wells Fargo, and I want to fight Fedor Emelianenko. That's the fight that I want. Fedor Emelianenko. I want the greatest heavyweight of all time. I heard that you guys offered him a multi-million-dollar contract and he turned it down. I can be the guy to get him to sign that contract, Dave Feldman. You put a mic in front of me, I will get that Russian piece of shit to sign a contract. Give me Fedor Emelianenko. I've been here for far too long. I've gotten through so much shit in my life. I deserve it. Fedor Emelianenko, you fight me, you go home in a box.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lex Ludlow.
Incredible call out. Lex Ludlow, the Grizzly Bear. Welcome to the Mike and Mish Show.
Thank you for having me. I'm really honored to be on here, guys. Nice to meet you guys officially. I've been DMing Mish for a little bit here now, and finally to be on here, dude. I'm excited.
Hell yeah. We're excited to have you on.
But listen, I'm offended. I am the headliner, not Down syndrome Kyle Doukas, a.k.a. Theo Doukas or whatever that dude's name is. I'm the headliner. I'm the main event. Nobody else. But because we just met, I'll let it slide, guys. But it's all right.
I love that. And
is it because he's on last and not first?
That's why.
I thought the first guest was the top guest, like on the shows, right? Like if you watch late night television, the first guest that comes out is the feature.
I'm the main event, brother.
Isn't that correct?
I'm always the main event, brother.
See that little brown nosing going on there? But that is true, though, isn't it? Like on the late night shows, the first guest that comes out, I think, is the featured guest.
I'm just trolling. I'm just trolling.
I know.
You guys. I'm trying to break the ice with you both, but
I love it.
No, I love it. Hey, Lex, I got to tell you, man. I saw on your Instagram profile the most hated man in combat sports. It's right there on the screen for everybody to read. I want to know why. Just why. There's a lot of pieces of shit out there, but why are you the biggest one?
It's because nobody can create controversy like I can. I know how to work the mic, and I didn't need to be trained for it, brother. I don't need to practice. I don't need to practice at some performance center to speak in front of people and run my mouth. I've been practicing this for years, brother. Nobody can work the mic like I can, for sure. And especially these guys in BKFC. I mean, you know, there's some talented fighters in there, but you know, they're all boring unless you can work the mic. You know what I mean? They're just another fighter, and that's why I stand out. But I'm the most hated man because I create controversy. In my last fight, I had a lot of eyes on me after that fight, dude. A lot of eyes. And I had Mike Perry in the comments. I had Chris Camozzi crying in the comments. I had them all in there, brother. If I'm not the most hated man now, I guarantee you after my next fight I will be.
So you are fighting heavyweight for BKFC, and Chris Camozzi is a 205 champ. He's about to fight in Rome for the and he's going to defend his title against Alessio Sakara. Why are you planning on going? Are you planning on going down the 205 and challenging him?
Lex,
sorry about that.
Lex, wake up,
Sorry
Lex.
about that. I thought were you guys just talking about the most boring champion of all of combat sports, Chris Camozzi? Were you guys just talking about him again?
What
we were talking about Chris Camozzi.
Yes. Tell me, why is Chris Camozzi the most boring champion in combat sports?
Nobody even talks about him. Who the heck talks about that guy? You know, me and him were on a podcast together 10 years ago.
No.
He was just like this. It was I was first, he was last. And I talked crap about him then, and I'm still talking crap about him now. And back then, I said, nobody knows who this guy is. Who cares? And I'm still saying it. About your 205-pound question, I can 100% make 205. Last February, I fought MMA at 205. I weighed in at 206. I can make 205 easily.
Okay.
I fight at heavyweight because when they initially contacted me, they asked me to fight at heavyweight. So I've been, you know, I told them that I won't fight, you know, 6'8" guys, but you know, I'll fight, you know, guys a little bit bigger than me or relatively my height. But you know, I do plan to go to 205 after my next fight for sure.
When you were on that podcast and you were talking shit about him, did he come on and address it at all? And did you guys have
no
back
idea.
and forth, or?
I could care less what that guy has to say. I didn't even listen to it.
So you've never met each other in person or talked to each other?
That was the first time we ever talked to each other when I was yelling at him in the ring.
And you didn't talk to him that night?
He talked to a buddy of mine, and he was making a lot of excuses why not to fight me. I'll tell you that for sure.
What were the excuses?
I have 48 fights and blah, 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 but that makes no sense because he fought Lorenzo Hunt, who's like 3-8 in MMA, and he lost him. And he's going to sit there and try to discredit my MMA record because of that. I'm telling you, brother, once I crack him one time, he's running the whole fight. I change your opinion about fighting when I hit you, brother. I would maul Chris Camozzi. I would maul him.
You got a cold right now, Lex?
Nah, it's my broken nose.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Oh, the septum is.
That sounds like fun. Kyle had some issues, huh, Kyle?
It's destroyed.
Yeah. Hey, dude, Lex. So for years, right? My wife. So I snored for like years, right? And snored, and I go to the fucking doctor, and I get like a fucking sleep test or whatever, and they say I have sleep apnea. They give me the CPAP thing to wear. I cannot wear that shit. So I'm like, I take it off every fucking day. And then after like about a week or so, Amy's like, how come you can't wear that thing? I'm like, it's weird because it's only blowing air up one nostril.
Right.
I'm like, only one of my nostrils works. So it fucking drives me crazy. And she's like, wait a minute. Only one of your nostrils works? Did you tell the doctor that? I'm like, no. I don't know.
Why would I say that?
I'm like, is that normal? She's like, no. She's like, no, that's not normal. My septum was broken in like 5 spots. It was like a zipper, like a zigzag all the way up my nose. Dude, I got that shit fixed. Sleep like a baby, my friend. And my wife doesn't hate me anymore. So what do you think about that?
I'll get it fixed after I'm done fighting. It's been broken since 2007.
I guess that's logical.
I broke it in wrestling, a wrestling tournament.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Imagine that, your fight, but you broke it in a wrestling tournament.
I got cross-faced.
I used to wrestle. Yeah,
Bob
maybe
Macklin
that
move.
So maybe that's where I broke my shit in high school wrestling, because I had a fucking coach with one hand and he had a nub and he used to slam his fucking nub across our face every time he would cross face us. So we just bam, fucking nub right across the nose.
Should have called him Nubby. Should have called him Nubby.
Nah, I hated that guy. Fuck him. Anyways, so dude, hey, I just want to tell you this, dude. You did work the mic. You called out Fedor.
I love that mic work.
That was fantastic. And then your second fight you called, that wasn't the same fight, right? You called out Chris Camozzi in your second fight. Yes. So 2 for 2 in the BKFC, 2 for 2 in call outs. What is the deal between you and the BKFC right now? Conversations, you are from PA. There's a big event coming up in New Jersey at the Prudential Center very soon. I don't think they have filled up that card. When are we going to see Lex Ludlow back in the BKFC Squared Circle?
I think I'd say probably early next year.
Okay. We got to wait.
I got to wait, yeah. But you know what, dude? I'm a company man, so whatever the boss wants, I'll do. Because I see a very big picture with this. And I honestly think, like, you go and you watch guys like Andre Arlovsky fight Josh Copeland. Arlovsky didn't look too good, you know what I mean? It's a different sport, dude. It's a lot different than MMA, you know what I mean? And that's why I want to fight guys like Yoel Romero, because when Yoel Romero steps in there with Theo Doukas, or whatever the heck that guy's name is, it's going to be completely different for him for a couple minutes. It's going to be completely different. The way he gets hit is going to be different. The way when he punches is going to be different. I wanted him to experience all that with me because I felt like that would throw him off and I would capitalize on that and win. But whatever. Theo Doukas gets a lottery ticket.
You asked for it. Did you ask for Yoel?
I asked it for it in that same call out with Chris Camozzi. I said that I would fight him at Wells Fargo. Yeah, and I mean it. They said in a podcast that all these fighters denied him. I'm the only one that called him out. I'm not afraid of that guy. I'm not afraid of anybody. When I say I will fight them, I'm 100% agree to fight them. You send me a contract, I'm there, brother. You give me the date, I'm there. Because my momentum is really hot right now, brother. It's hot right now. It's so hot an ice cube would melt. And I'm just waiting for my championship belt. See what I did?
It rhymed, yeah.
I wonder, could you kind of sneak yourself into this New Jersey card? I mean, is it filled? I don't know. I feel like they could fit one. They do have a cruiserweight fight on there. There is a heavyweight fight on there. Maybe stay ready. You never know, right? They might be calling for you like, hey, so-and-so fell out. Do you plan on doing that?
Hey, brother, I didn't take a single punch against Louis Rumsey. I'm fine, dude. I'm healthy. So if they call, I'm there, dude. I train with Pat Brady. Pat Brady and I, we spar and we train every day. So
he's fighting.
Corey Willis is a walk in the park. Corey Willis is a walk in the park. Even if you fought me, Corey Willis, I would take his head off his shoulders right in front of you guys, and I'd put it in your lap. I put it in Dave Feldman's lap. I put his head right in his lap. I say, here you go, sir. Have a good day. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity, sir. What do you think I would do to Theo Doukas? What do you think I would do to Theo Doukas? Be honest. I DM'd you, Mish. I DM'd you. I said that dude's got more holes in his game than Swiss cheese.
Swiss cheese. Yes, you did. And you also called somebody else out in the messages. And I'm going to tell you right now, this guy's manager is in the comment section right now.
Sure
Zach Kalmus is always
the easiest fight.
Looking for a fight. Zach Kalmus is from New England. He's always looking for a fight. He's always down for a fight. Would you take October 4th is what? 4 weeks away?
I just looked. There's no prelims on that.
There's no prelims. They don't have anything.
They don't have anyone lined up there.
Nothing's listed. So what about you guys headline the prelims, and then you can come back ringside for the freaking the Yoel fight. No, that's
Yoel's this weekend.
Anyways, you go out there. So take a fight with Kalmus. What do you think?
First off, I would put a leash around Kalmus's neck and I would dog walk him. He is nowhere near my level, brother. That is the easiest fight I've ever seen in my life. I don't care what anybody says, brother. I would get him out of there in 2 rounds. 2 rounds. You thought Rumsey was bad, dude? Dude, I would smash Kalmas. And to be honest, if his manager is smart and he is watching, he would exit that chat and he wouldn't entertain that fight, because I would change Kalmas after that fight. I would change him. He'd never be the same fighter again. Every time these guys fight me, brother, they're never the same again. Never the same. And even with Rumsey, dude, like Rumsey, he's a nice guy. He's super respectful. I wanted to fight that guy for 10 years. Me and him, when I first started fighting, he was kind of like, talked about. He was fighting a guy named Zoo in MMA who was a big name around here. And I saw him fight and I wanted to fight him. And, I manifested that into reality, and it went exactly the way that I thought it would go. I didn't get hit, just exactly how I planned, and I dominated just like I like to dominate. That's what gets me off in fighting, bro. I like going in there and I like having my way with these guys, because they all break and they all fold when you put the pressure on them like that. I would put pressure on all these guys that I'm naming, and I guarantee you they all fold, including Chris Camozzi, including him, because I guarantee you they're not used to getting hit as hard as I hit. I know that a lot of these guys come in here and they run their mouth and they say this, I'm a hard hitter, I'm not just saying it, I believe it, and I'm telling you guys right now, by the end of next year, I will be a world champion.
People in the comment section are asking who you even fought, and the manager.
Tell them none of their business.
Well, anyway, so Kalmas beat Conor McKenna, so that makes sense for you to fight Kalmas. And then
what did his manager said something? What did he say?
I think he
said,
who the fuck is this guy?
he said this guy sounds like a heavyweight Brandon Lambert.
I don't even know who that is.
There you go.
That was a horrible.
I think that's what he's.
Horrible trash talk.
Brandon Lambert was a guy who fought on Knucklemania 1. He kind of talked a lot of shit. He got into the sport. He said he had a bunch of fights under his belt, and then they found out that he actually didn't have any fights under his belt, and he did get beat.
I don't know.
That's who he is. And now he's like known for his shit talking. He does have
Brandon,
good shit talking.
I got a joke for you. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Brandon.
Brandon who?
Exactly.
Nice.
Lex. We don't want to wait until early next year, like you told us.
Yeah, we that.
I think.
Well, then you guys, I know you guys are friends with them, so you guys should be putting that in their ear for me.
Yeah. So what I want you to do is send a direct, clear message to everybody who will be paying attention to this, Mr. Feldman and the matchmakers. We all know that they don't have a full card listed for October 4th. Maybe we get you on that Prudential Center card, and then you fight early 2026. Go ahead and say a few things directly to who has to hear it.
Well, first and foremost, I do want to say I'm actually not butt kissing, because I fought regionally. BKFC is actually great to fighters, the way they treat the fighters and everything like that. So I really do enjoy fighting for them. I will also say this: bare knuckle is way more fun than MMA. I have a lot of fun with it. When I'm in there, I'm having fun. I really enjoy it. And to all those people that I'm calling out, it's not about me being a jerk and trying to talk my way into it. It's just that I want to test myself, and I believe in myself, and I know deep down I can beat these guys. And I know, like, Theo Doukas, or I don't even know how to say this dude's name, Theo Doukas or whatever, he believes in himself that he's going to beat Yoel. I'm telling you right now, I watched you spar, buddy. You ain't beating him, dude. It's just night and day between those two. That's just my opinion. I hope he proves me wrong, but I don't think he will. But I would love to fight Zach Kalmas. And for his manager to write, who am I? Like, who is Zach Kalmas? Nobody knows who Zach Kalmas is. Unless you're a hardcore BKFC fan. I never heard about him until Pat Brady mopped him. That was the first time I ever heard of him. And then I watched him fight Conor McKenna. And Kalmas finished McKenna. I beat McKenna by decision. I was also sick for that fight. I had a stomach flu. But Kalmas also got hit way more than me in 3 rounds than I did in 5 rounds. If you actually look at it, brother, I only got hit one time hard, and it was in my eye. That was it. He hit me like maybe 6 or 7 times in 10 minutes. Imagine that, in 10 minutes. That's all he hit me. And one judge declares him the winner. That's insane. It's insane to me. I'm still bothered by that, by the way.
Judging is notoriously fucking horrible nowadays.
I really believe that if with the right opportunity, you put me in front of any of these guys, I guarantee you I make it look easy, just like I did against and like that's another thing. Like Rumsey, he's a 40-fight veteran, and I made it look like he's never fought before. I made it look like he never fought before. He's a 40-fight veteran. 13 and 15 in MMA, 2 and 5 in BKFC. Now, he's got like boxing fights, kickboxing fights. If I watch that fight, I never would have known that guy fought before. That's just my humble opinion. That's all.
Well, dude, we want to see you back in there. I think that you made some really great call outs. If they could ever get Fedor Emelianenko into the BKFC, that would be fantastic.
That would be nuts.
That would be
He's
nuts.
in a bunker. He's in a bunker hiding from me in Russia, brother. He's in a bunker.
He's trying to avoid them bombs.
I talked to his manager. I talked to Jerry Millen. Me and Jerry Millen had a conversation. He just doesn't want to do bare knuckle. He doesn't want to fight bare knuckle. It's nothing to do, like Jerry said, like he thinks that I'm the perfect opponent, but it's just Fedor doesn't want to do it.
Well,
yeah, I'd be very surprised if he took a bare knuckle contract. Extremely.
Nah, it would be great to see you scrap with Zach. It would be great to see you scrap with Fedor. If you get the winner of the Yoel Theo fight, that would be fantastic too. You're 2-0. You're great on the mic, and you obviously have charisma. In the East Coast, you're well known, especially in that Pennsylvania area. You did your thing in the ECW arena. Had you ever fought there before?
That was my 3rd time.
3rd time. See, cool place, man. When we saw you fight there, that was the first time we ever been there. But we grew up in the '90s watching fucking ECW, so that was kind of cool. So, awesome having you on here. Final words before we let you go. Go ahead, man.
One, I want to shout out the Forge MMA. It's Kyle and Chris's Chris and Kyle Doukas' MMA gym. It's a great gym, dude. We work really hard. We're killers in there, all killers. We got a bunch of fights coming up. It's great. It's a great atmosphere too. It's like a real good, motivating gym and stuff like that. I always want to thank my wife and my kids. They're really my inspiration in all this. And I wanted to touch on the Charlie Kirk thing a little bit as well. I joined a little bit and I heard what you guys said. I thought that was very beautiful, and I'm not one to, I used to post, I'm a big troll online. I like to talk a lot of trash, even to random people and stuff like that. Like I like to go on reels and run my mouth and whatever. I don't know. It's fun, when you're
it's
bored.
part of the culture now. I feel like that's a thing. It's not online culture.
And it's fun. Like it's funny. I mean, you got to have thick skin if you're going to have social media, but to see people, regardless whether you believe what he says or you don't, or you disagree with what he says, at the end of the day, the guy is a father. He's a husband. He's a son. He's a nephew. He's everything you can think of. And he's 31 years old and I'm 31 years old. And I have 4 kids. And when I watched that video, dude, I probably watched it. I'm not even joking, dude. I watched it like 100 times and probably sounds crazy and sadistic, but I'm not watching it like that because
it's unbelievable.
I'm watching it from the point of his kids. I'm thinking about his kids because think about it, dude. Like these kids are going to grow up now because regardless of what you say about the guy, he's a good father. I mean, there's plenty of video proving that he's a good father. These kids have to grow up now without a father, without a good father. They're going to be bullied the rest of their lives. They're going to hear how he's this and that and, how he got shot. And the worst part about all of that is they have actual footage of watching their father die that they can watch unlimited all day long.
From 100 different angles.
And for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And
it's fucking terrible.
And they're going to get, like I said, dude, they're going to get bullied. They're going to get made fun of. There's going to, and I really hope that the Trump administration can step up and really help his family out a lot. That way those kids don't have to go through that stuff. Because I can only imagine something happened to me and like that, and my wife has to take care of 4 kids by herself. You know what I mean? It's a horrible, horrible thing that happened today, and no one should be celebrating this because imagine if that was you, and people are parading that you're dead. You know, it's not a good feeling to have. And I can only imagine what his innocent kids have nothing to do with what he believes in. His kids can grow up and believe whatever they want to believe.
Yeah, they're little kids too. They're like 2 and 3 or something.
Have nothing to do with that, dude. And my kid, I have a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. And you know, when I saw that the first time, dude, I didn't think about Charlie, dude. You know, as much as that sounds horrible, I thought about his kids and I thought about his wife. That's what I thought about immediately. Because Charlie, from what you hear about this guy and what he says and how he presents himself, it sounds like that's the way, if he were to die, that's the way he would want to go for what he believes in. You know what I mean? He believes in gun control. He believes in all that, or not gun control. He believes in the Second Amendment and all that stuff. But you know, I believe that if he were to die, he died for what he believed in for sure. You know what I mean? He died what he did loving. You know, but to celebrate the death and to wish all this, and when these kids are going to grow up and all they got to do is a simple Google search and they see all this negative talk about this guy, it's horrible, dude. Horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah.
That's all
Absolutely.
I had to say, dude. I've been thinking about it all day.
I agree with you.
Yeah, it's terrible. Things like this are terrible. I agree with you. It's horrible for the family, and everyone needs to just, you know, you don't all have to get along. You don't all have to agree, but you can't be killing each other. It's unbelievable. So, but hey, man, thank you so much for coming on. Hopefully we see you on a card very, very soon. Maybe you'll sneak your way into the old October 4th card. That would be nice. New Jersey, Dave Feldman.
If not, go there anyway. Go there anyway.
Yeah, you should go there anyways. You should go there anyways. We should see you there. We'll be there. We'll be there. We'll see you there.
Where do you guys sit? Like, what tickets do you guys have?
We never sit. We just run around and we do interviews. So we'll see you there, and we'll make some content with you. Whether it's at the hotel, at the weigh-ins, after the weigh-ins, or at the show, we will see you. You'll see us, and we will see you. So you should go. For sure. Take advantage of it.
Maybe I'll buy a ticket off Pat Brady.
Maybe.
Corner him. Let's go.
But, all right.
Well, listen, guys, I really appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you for the opportunity, guys. You guys seem like stand-up guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon.
Yes,
right,
sir.
We'll see you soon, man.
All right, everybody. We will be back right after this.
Later.
It's not changing nothing. It's explosion, it's power, it's get yours off before they get his off. He did an illegal shot, pulled me on the ground, hit me while I was on the ground. Then I get dropped. The ref is counting in Spanish and he starts to count at 8. While Perdomo was running around the ring, the count should have been stopped. It shouldn't have been started. If it's a fair, even, equal fight, no controversial shit you could look at or nothing that could be questioned or second guessed, I'm fine with that.
Todo el mundo tiene su criterio, pero en esta pelea ahora esta próxima nada. Vamos a ver qué espacio le damos para que, obviamente, yo solamente vengo a ratificar en menos de un minuto, que es lo que toca. Lo que transmito yo es el hecho de violencia, que es lo que faltaba en los deportes. Ganas de quitarle la vida al contrario arriba del ring.
Hey, what's going on there? The Spaz, Reid, Krasowski. Did I say your name right?
Yeah, pretty close. Krasowski.
Krasowski.
It's Krasowski. You got to get it right.
After the fight, you'll know it.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, we talked to your opponent. Well, I talked to your opponent 2 weeks ago. And, dude, Charles Rosa is a highly decorated MMA veteran, and nobody knows who the hell the Spaz is. So we're going to get you on here and talk a little bit about that. Who the hell is Reid Krasowski, and why are you going to beat Charles Rosa at BKFC Ice Wars 3?
I'm just a hard-nosed guy from Saskatchewan that played hockey all my life and loves fighting, and I thought this was the perfect opportunity when I seen it was announced that they started Ice Wars and BKFC was a part of it. I sent an application in like right away, and then they signed me a couple months in, and then they told me to wait while they were building up the division. And then, yeah, a few months later, they called me and offered me Charles' name, and I couldn't believe it for, like, yeah, the simple fact for, like you guys said, he's a huge name and no one knows who I am. But I mean, yeah, I'm just a hockey player from Saskatchewan that's trying to make a name for myself, and I don't see a better opponent than Charles.
Mike, who's the fighter from Saskatchewan?
From Saskatchewan?
Is same place in Canada. The fucking dude. He just got his first win in Sturgis. Right? Lumberjack.
Oh,
guy.
the lumberjack.
Why am I can't think of his name right now.
I know.
Dan.
I know. Well,
Godoy.
Dan Godoy. Yes.
He's from
Godoy.
Saskatchewan? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Have
Dan
you ever
Godoy.
heard of Dan
Yes,
Godoy?
Yes.
I have not, but I'm sure he's probably never heard of me either.
Well,
that's okay. Dan Godoy is a good guy. He was a lumberjack. I don't know if he just does that in his free time now or what, but yeah, he fought on the Sturgis card. It wasn't his first fight, the Sturgis card, but he did win, and it was a good fight. I mean, it was a bloody fight.
What weight class is he?
He is 145, 155, around there somewhere, right?
Okay. I might have to hit him up, see if he wants to
maybe
train.
165. I could be completely off, but I can tell you this. So do you know what Sturgis Bike Rally is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So it's worldwide. Everyone knows what that is. He got the privilege of being the opening fight of the night in front of at the time, at the beginning of the night, there was only, a couple thousand people watching, but
yeah,
the sun's still up. People are on their motorcycles. They're all pulling up to the ring or pulling up to the fights. And he gets into a bloody, disgusting war with Paco Castillo. And they are just draped in blood.
Yeah.
The sun's still out. Everybody can see every fucking graphic detail of a bloody bare knuckle fight.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Video of it.
It was fantastic. You should go back and check it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. That sounds sick. Way to set the tone for the night, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And but you though, BKFC Ice Wars 3, you get to fight towards the end of the night, and you're fighting Charles Rosa. I was looking you up. You're listed 6'2". Are you really 6'2"?
Yes, I am. I'm like obviously I rounded up. I'm like 6'1" and 3/4.
Either way, so I have to check that because most of the time we check anything on the internet, it's about a little bit off. So you on a pair of skates, right, are going to be about 6'5", 6'6".
Yes.
Charles Rosa is a 5'9" MMA fighter who isn't even going to be 6 feet tall in a pair of skates. Do you take that thing into account when you have had all this experience of fighting on ice and he's fighting in an octagon? Are you thinking to yourself, man, I got every advantage in the world going in here. People don't know what they're about to see.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling myself every day. And I know that's like true in fact, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself either. Like, this is a huge fight, and Charles, I know, is going to come out there and like, he's a UFC vet, so he's going to be hard as nails to finish. Or I know, like, the only thing I know he's probably not going to be the best at, which you definitely need, is skating. Like, I've seen his training, and I mean, he's wearing a cage in case he falls on his face. So,
well, we always talk to people here on this show mainly about bare knuckle fighting. All right, which we have proven over time, not just us, but the fighters themselves and the sport has proved that it's not even the same. Because people always say, oh, it's like boxing without gloves. It's like, okay, well, it looks like boxing without gloves, but it's pretty different when you're in there fighting. It's a different sport. You can just see it. If you follow the sport, it's different. How the hell do you train for this, which is a totally different thing? So you got Charles Rosa. Yeah, okay, he fights MMA, right? Maybe he'd be good in bare knuckle, maybe, I don't know, possibly. How the hell do we know if anyone's going to be good for this sport unless they're actually hockey players and they're just fighting constantly? They're getting put out there and fighting and eating corn dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which is like, it's good for me because like Justice Smoke lives 5 hours away, and he's an Ice Wars fighter. He fights on the same card as me earlier in the
Yeah.
night. So I was with him a couple weeks ago training for 4 days, and then I'm going to go up a couple more times before the fight here. And then, yeah, he has like we have a whole team, Haymaker fight crew. So Cam Proudy's on that team too, another Ice Wars fighter. And then, yeah, the one girl's actually training with us too, Barry. So like, there's a good group of us training, all working on the same thing. And then he's got great facilities out there too in Winnipeg that like help us a lot. And he's done it, like he's been in Ice Source for like 4 years, so he knows, like even before the BKFC signed him or signed
Yeah.
Ice Force. So he definitely like knows what to work on, knows what to do, and he's probably training the hardest out of anyone on the whole card. So it's great to work with him, and he knows like how to push me, and I know what to do now just because of him.
It's so friggin' crazy. Like I can't even imagine what practicing for this, like training for this is like.
Yeah,
Right.
and he's got lots of ice time too, which helps. Like you want to be on the ice lots.
So you sent me a video, and I'll just put it out there. You said this is the guy that's supposed to beat me, right? And it was the video
Like I
of
said,
him.
this is why I accepted the fight.
Right. This is why I accept the fight. But he was training with Sean Thornton, who anybody who knows hockey, Sean Thornton is one of the greatest hockey fighters of all time in the NHL. He's actually my favorite Boston Bruin of all time. We live in New England, Spaz.
Yeah.
So we live in New England. We are Boston Bruin fans. Sean Thornton has like 200 and yeah.
Why I order?
But you gotta respect Sean Thornton, right? You know what kind of ice fights he's been in his hockey career. It is kind of cool to see him training with a legend like that. Do you think that a guy like Sean Thornton could whip him into shape enough for hockey fights to be able to battle with you on October 10th?
100%. If he was training with Sean Thornton every time, he trained with him once in the video, and the video I sent you wasn't him. It was a different guy he was training with, some like rec hockey player. Like Charles says, a lot of the stuff Charles says about hockey is so far from the truth, it's insane. But people are gonna believe him because he's a big name and he's been successful in the UFC. But he never played college. He tried out and he got kicked off the team for fighting in tryouts. He would have never made it. The last game he played was high school, which is 20 years ago. He's 39. So, I mean, I don't know what he
tell us the story, because I don't know this. So when you say he got kicked off the team for fighting at tryouts, I immediately think of Happy Gilmore. So tell me, what did Charles Rosa do at his tryouts? I don't know this.
Well, at his college tryouts, he was trying to get on the team, so he was fighting like guys that were on the team already, signed guys, like good hockey players, just jumping them, trying to fight him, and they kicked him off.
So
he's never played a game in college.
Never played a game in college. So, man,
and if I've told Charles to give me proof, and he's not. He just says he has. You can find anyone's stats of any college game.
All right. So after you fight Charles Rosa, you're going to be. Oh, and by the way, this is the first time BKFC Ice Wars is going to be on real ice with no gloves. And that's got to be a breath of fresh air for someone like you coming from hockey, right? You're coming from real ice. And when you were getting in scraps in hockey, you drop the gloves, you fight. So
it's
when you were watching BKFC 1 and 2, BKFC Ice Wars 1 and 2 on synthetic ice wearing MMA gloves, what was going through your head when you're watching that?
First thing I thought was a lot of guys can get away with walking on synthetic ice. Like, you don't really have to know how to skate that good. And then also the MMA gloves is kind of silly. I mean, it's not a true hockey fight with MMA gloves. So the only thing I know they're worried about is the hands, but I heard they're working on the helmets to help the hands for the next card in October. So, I mean, yeah, I'm very excited. It's like completely in my world now. Charles hasn't even been in a boxing match, let alone a hockey fight. So I don't know.
I love it, man. Hey, I got to tell you this. When they first announced it, that they were partnering with Ice Wars, BKFC, because Mike and I have been with BKFC for 5 years now. So, like, when they first announced it, we're like, I love hockey fights.
Yeah.
I don't know how sanctioned hockey fights is going to really go over, but I mean, who knows how this is going to go? And then I watched it, And I'm like, man, this is a really good product. They got a really good product on their hands here. But the one thing that I was saying is you cannot call it BKFC Ice Wars and have gloves on.
Yes.
Get those fucking things out of here. And then we had Ian Heinisch on here, and Ian said, no gloves, and it'll be on real ice. So this event that you are co-main eventing will be the closest thing to a real hockey fight that the BKFC fans have been able to see since they have partnered up with Ice Wars. This is going to be fucking awesome. And you're in the home of the Panthers, right?
Yeah, back-to-back champs.
Back-to-back champs in the Amerant Bank Arena. So fucking outstanding, dude. I mean, good for you to have this opportunity in front of you to fight a guy like Charles Rosa. I wish you the best of luck. I hope that if you go out there and have a blast and do your thing with Charles, and if you win, bright future for you in this sport.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm forever grateful for BKFC and Charlie and Ian and all of them for giving me this opportunity. I know they're taking a shot on someone they don't know, but I'm not going to let them down, and this is going to be one of the best decisions they've ever made.
All right. Well, hey, we really like you coming on here, and I want you to take a look into the camera, send a message to Charles Rosa, Dave Feldman, the BKFC Ice Wars, Brass, Ian Heinisch. Anything you want to say, the minute is yours. Go ahead.
They're going to have to get their boy. I know Charles knows deep down what is coming, and he's trying to do what he can, but Charles, that's not going to help, buddy. You're going to have to learn how to skate first, and you know you're fighting a tower of a man. I'm going to throw you around and end it quick. Good luck, Charles.
Outstanding. Mike, what do you got for him?
And that's the bottom line, because the Spaz said so.
Yes,
Man,
sir.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I'll be watching. I love just watching the growth of this. I did not follow Ice Wars before BKFC picked it up, so I'm just starting to get into it. You know what I mean? So, like Kyle said, gloves got to go. Ice has to come in. But other than that, we love the fights. I cannot wait to see this fight because you know what I love? And I'm not voting. I'm not rooting against anybody, but I do love an underdog story. I mean, everybody does. You know, it's just the way of the world. We want to see somebody go, you know, could I do that? Could I go against a guy that everybody knows? Can I go into with someone who has a little more experience that everyone might be counting me out? Yeah. That's very similar.
I'm doing this for the everyman. Like, I was that guy. I'm going to prove to myself and prove to others that they can do this against a big name.
Hey, listen, you go in there, you believe in yourself, you train right, and you could very well go in there and do that. Our next guest, actually, if you stick around and watch, he's also got a task ahead of him against a guy who I am very sure people are like, oh, this guy's going to go in there and walk all over him. Well, the thing is when people think that way, sometimes it doesn't end up the way they think it will. And that's why we love fighting. And that's why we love this, because one shot could end it all. And people don't think they're going to be the victim of that shot. And sometimes they are. So we love that. And I love to hear the stories. I love to hear your story and see where you go. So we'll be watching. Thank you for coming on. Everybody else, just make sure you are paying attention. No sticks, no pucks, no goals, no gloves.
Love
Just
it.
fights, baby. Co-main event, Rosa versus Krasowski.
Yes, sir.
Middleweight fight, Ice Wars, number 3, October 10th. You better be tuned in. Be there or be square, right? Thank you so much, everybody else. When we come back, we will be joined by Theo Doukas. Take it easy,
Later,
Spaz.
Spaz.
See you, boys. Thank you so much.
Ahora acabo de firmar a la edad de los 48 años en BKC, que es otro reto más para mí, incursionar a una compañía de boxeo de manos limpias, deporte muy antiguo, que el 12 de septiembre podemos ponerlo a prueba. Que se contestarán, ¿no? Muchas de sus preguntas, será igual, ya no es el mismo, que sigo siendo el mismo Yoel Romero, como me decían a mí en el barrio, el Yoel.
The reason why I want to fight Yoel beyond just being a martial artist is because he brings opportunity to whoever it is that gets to stand in there with him. From what I understand, my manager told me that multiple fighters turned him down. I don't think I'm going to be going out there and one-punching Yoel Romero just because he's Yoel Romero. He's about as tough as they come. But I do believe point boxing, moving around, catching him with a lot of volume, slowing him down when he moves forward, circling out and creating angles is going to be what it takes to win this fight. I promise everybody who's watching this right now, you're going to remember me.
I love that. I love that. Theo Doukas, thank you for coming on the show tonight. Everybody will remember you. You have a tall task in front of you, my friend, but he is a 48-year-old man and he's a Terminator. Yoel Romero is your opponent. Let's talk about it, man. What happened? How did this fight come to fruition?
Well, my management team at CNC threw my name in the mix when they were looking for an opponent. And from what I understand, there was multiple fighters that backed out. They didn't want the fight. As soon as it came to me, I was just like, the opportunity that comes with fighting a Yoel Romero is huge. I mean, outside the ring, it's huge. You get people that are wanting to listen to your story, people that want to know why you're fighting them, people that want to know where you came from all of a sudden. And that all has to do with the fact it's because I'm fighting Yoel Romero. I mean, look at this interview we got going on right now. This happened because of the fact that I took the fight. So it's like all the opportunities that come with a fighter like Yoel Romero, you just got to be smart enough to jump on.
Yoel has such a legacy. He has such a, it's almost like urban legend shit, right? He has the thickest bones any doctor's ever seen.
I remember that story.
The UFC doctor went to Dana White and said, "Where did you find this guy? I've never seen bone density like this man. He's built different." Everybody's seen him. Everybody knows what he's been able to do. I'll tell you what he can't do is get off a stool in time for a round to start. That's one thing that he can't do.
Oh shit, the old stool gate.
Oh, remember that? You guys remember that?
You remember Tim Kennedy? That was a crazy night. That was the night that Kyle's son was born, right? Kyle, was that night?
Yes, it was. Dude, Theo, you want to hear a funny story? So Mike comes up. So me and Mike
craziest
are in the army.
card ever, too.
Right. So Mike and I are in the Army. We're in the Connecticut National Guard, but we're full time for them. So Monday through Friday we work for them, but once a month we have to do drills on the weekends. And that fight card happened to land on a drill weekend, and my wife was like 9 months pregnant.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Mike, just crash at my house.
We planned this out for months too, by the way.
Yes, just crash at my house. We'll watch the fights and we'll go to work in the morning. Amy's sitting on the couch next to Mike. She's got the baby in her belly. She's got the hiccups. Her fucking stomach's jumping. Mike's looking at it like, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah. The fight, we're watching the prelims. The prelims are done. Amy's like, I'm going to go upstairs and go to bed. She goes upstairs. The fight, the pay-per-view starts. Like, it's 10 o'clock. And Amy comes downstairs and she's like, I think my water just broke. Oh, and I'm like, no. I'm like,
we thought she was busting her balls.
I'm like, right? You're joking, right? She's like, no, I think I got to go to the hospital right now. And I'm like, what the fuck?
What's funny, Kyle, is he almost like he thought she was messing with us. So he goes, no. And then we just kept watching the fights.
So we kept watching. So I'm like,
he was just making it his comeback that night.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah. And Kat Zingano beat Amanda Nunes that night.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're like, and I think Conor McGregor fought that night as well.
He did. Yes.
It was like
he said Mystic
card.
That was one of the biggest cards UFC had.
Yeah.
It was insane.
So I go to the hospital for my child to be born, and Mike is filming my TV with his phone and sending me videos on the fucking phone. I'm sitting bedside
all by
with
myself.
Amy. I'm sitting he was home alone at my house.
Yeah.
He was hanging out at your place.
Hanging out at my house,
he's at the
watching
hospital.
the paper. Yeah, it was hilarious. And then like he's sending me videos of Yoel Romero and Tim Kennedy, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like sitting by the
crazy.
bed. having contractions in the bed, and I'm doing that. So, anyways, that's
Dude,
my
that was
connection
UFC
to Yoel
178.
Romero.
Kat Zingano beat Amanda Nunes. Dominic Cruz made his comeback after being out for years. Remember how long he was out for?
I remember that.
Stoolgate happened. Conor McGregor beat Dustin Poirier, and I think he said Mystic Mac that night. I predict these things. I think that was that night. Donald Cerrone fought Eddie Alvarez in Eddie Alvarez's debut. And then
Oh
it
my
was
God.
Demetrius Johnson
What a card.
against Chris Kratarias. But it was a crazy ass friggin' night. Anyways.
Wild
Well,
night.
Obviously memorable for you too.
Yeah. And
it was awesome.
And my boy Nolan was born that night. It's
That's
unbelievable.
awesome. That was probably the best part of the entire night right there.
It was crazy. And I'll never forget that night for sure. But now here we are. We're talking like Theo, Yoel Romero has such a piece of my memory, but now you get to fight him with no gloves on in Miami just a couple nights from now. It's unbelievable. You do know, and I don't mean to say this to be a dickhead. A lot of people think that like you're the sacrificial lamb, right?
Yeah. I've read the comments on Reddit and Instagram and everything like
When
that.
you think,
Honestly, I just kind of laugh at them and let people say what they
okay,
say.
so that's my question. When you see these things, when you see everything online, this guy is going to get killed by Yoel Romero. Why? Why are you not? Tell them why.
Well, I look at it this way. I got 20 years fighting experience. My very first fight was 2005. Now we're in 2025. I legit have 20 whole years of competing and training and just being in the game of all different martial arts, whether it's MMA fights, boxing, smokers, jiu-jitsu tournaments. I mean, I've been plugged into it for a very, very long time. I think the reason why people think I'm going to get smoked by them is because they just don't know me. And if I had some sort of name or legacy that I was bringing to the table that, people had seen before, then I don't think it would be so one-sided in their minds. And then I also pay attention to the fact that the majority, and I mean like 99.9% of the people out there talking shit are people who would never step in the cage in the first place. Not only that, they would never step in a gym in the first place. So it's like you always got to take everything that's said in the internet with a grain of salt and just believe in yourself, believe in the time that you put into the gym, believe in all the hard work you got, believe in all the hard wars that you fought. And no one can take that away from you because it's under your belt. It's your experience.
Mike, you've been away for 3 weeks. All this was building up while you were gone. So, Theo, Mike's been away for school. Mike, what was going on? I know you were selling this fight to people that you were at school with. What was going on in your mind when you were thinking about this fight?
Well, when I saw that this fight was made, obviously the first thing is like, who is Theo Doukas? I need to know who this guy is. Good thing we know Carlos. I knew Carlos was going to hook us up. I knew Carlos was going to come through and say, we're going to have my guy on. Because I was like, when they say that Yoel Romero signed, I wasn't sure how long it was going to take for us to see him fight, because it's happened a few times where they've signed fighters who we know about, but you just don't see them for a long time. But this is not the case. They matched him up pretty quickly with you. So I'm like, who is this guy? And like Kyle said, it's like, are they just going to put someone in there because they want this guy to win? Because that's what it looks like, right? They want him to go in there and get a win, see how he can feel himself out. But in my head,
it's home city too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yep, he's there. There's a lot of Cubans that fight in Miami, and there's a lot of good Cubans that fight in Miami too, by the way. But like I was saying just on our last interview, at the end of the interview, is I live for the underdog. You know what I mean? Like that is the best thing in combat sports, and it's never really against the person who will ultimately lose, right? Like if the underdog wins, that is just part of the circle of life, isn't it? It's like the 1, 2, 3 kid. I don't know if you ever watched wrestling growing up, but man, it's like the underdog comes in and wins, and you think that this big name person's going to win, but no. And like you said, you're getting interviews and everything, but if you go in there and you fucking take out Yoel Romero, life is going to change at that moment in time. The second he hits that ground, everything changes for you at that point, because people are going to be like, remember Britton Hart? Who doesn't know Britton Hart, right? We went to go see Britton Hart fight at Knucklemania 1, and everybody was like, oh, who is this girl that they're throwing in there? Who is she? How's she going to be Paige Van? Everyone knew Paige Van Zandt, right? It's Paige Van Zandt. She's beautiful. She's famous. She fought for UFC. Like, she's going in there. She's going to win. Who is Britain Hart? Who's Britain Hart? She's been champion for a long time now. That was her, like, coming up. She beat her and has never left the spotlight in BKFC since then. You have that opportunity.
That's what I'm shooting for. I mean,
yeah,
I'm 41 years old, so like, when it comes to being an older fighter, I can kind of understand where Yoel is coming from on this aspect. I probably got 3, 4, maybe 5 more years ahead of me. As long as I take care of myself, don't have any major injuries, I can still keep competing for a while. But this is my chance. Like, my 20 years of fighting, I've been waiting for an opportunity, whether it was Bellator when they were around, UFC, One Championship, PFL, whoever it is that wanted to bring me up to give me an opportunity. I've just been waiting for it. And it's been so long since I started fighting to now that once this opportunity came up, that there was no way I was letting it go through my hands. This was it. This was like everything I've been working for my entire fight career. Being able to make a name for myself off of beating Yoel Romero would be absolutely amazing. And yeah, like you said, it'll be life changing. It's not going to just be doing podcasts. It'll be getting sponsorships. It's kind of crazy, man. I've already gotten like 200 or 300 other followers on Instagram just once people found out that I was fighting him. Like, I haven't even fought the guy yet. And people are like, all of a sudden plugging into what's going on.
Yeah.
My Snapchat's been blowing up. My Facebook's been blowing up. It's crazy. And yeah, going back to what you said, man, I go out there and I go beat him and break him down. And all of a sudden it's like everything I ever wanted in the fight game is going to be there for me. But there's also going to be like a flip side to it. There's going to be a yin to the yang. Yeah, I'm going to get sponsorships. Yeah, I'm going to probably have people who want to get to know me, do more podcasts, and do everything outside the ring. In the ring, I'm going to be a target. And the guy who beats Yoel Romero is going to be the guy that everyone's going to want to come after that. So I'll definitely have to pay attention to who the opponents are that are calling me out. And then I'll have to let my management team and my coaches all come in together and figure out what the best matchups are going to be for me. But ultimately, beating Yoel Romero is just going to paint a giant target on my back.
And you know that they have to have big plans for you if you beat him, because they have big plans for him if he beats you. Even though you are making your debut in the company, we all know that this company is okay with giving a 1-0 fighter a title fight. And if Yoel Romero, with the name that he has and the legacy that he has and the record that he has, goes out and beats you in a couple nights from now, they're going to probably give him the winner of Chris Camozzi and Alessio Sakara.
Most likely.
But if you go out there and ruin that party, then they may not give you a title fight because of your name recognition, but they will have to get you busy.
Right.
They will have to get you busy, and that BKFC cruiserweight division needs people. We've been saying this for a long time. Brian Atchison's out there.
It's a super light division.
Atchison's out there. Mohawk is out there. Steve Townsel's out there. Other than those guys, Jeremy Smith's out there. There's 4 or 5 guys, right? There's 4 or 5 guys. They signed Yoel Romero. They signed Thiago Santos. Lex Ludlow was in the show earlier tonight. He was talking shit, and he wants he wants you.
Yeah.
He wants you, and he would love to fight you.
They already have the target. You haven't even fight yet.
Right.
No,
right.
Actually, oh man, I can't think of the other fighter. I got a message from Instagram from another BKFC fighter who said that whoever wins between me and Yoel, he's coming after. So
it's amazing.
Who was it? Who was it?
Someone's already got the brush and the paint, and they're starting to put it on my back already, and the fight hasn't even happened yet.
Seriously,
funny how that happens.
And like, nothing against you. I like Yoel Romero is 48 years old, and he's a legend in his own right. They had an undefeated 4-0 51-year-old fighter or whatever. I don't know how old Houston Alexander is. I thought that in my brain,
49 or 50.
I was thinking like 48 versus 51 makes sense to me. Undefeated Houston Alexander is a big enough name for Yoel to come in. He's an old man too, but he's an old man with an undefeated record, and he's done really well in this sport. I'm thinking in my head, would they do that? I don't know. I don't know if Houston Alexander would fight anywhere outside of Nebraska.
Yeah.
But no, it becomes Theo Doukas. So you have this massive, massive opportunity that we already just talked about. Tomorrow is so the next couple days, you fight Saturday, right? So
Friday, I believe.
Oh, it's a Friday night.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, dude. I'm sorry. So you weigh in tomorrow.
The 12th.
So you weigh in tomorrow, and so you got 48 hours until you step to this man.
Yep.
What are the next 48 hours like for you?
Probably exactly 48 hours because it's 10:04 p.m.
Right. Yeah, and we're gonna be one of the later fights on the card too. Really, I don't think much is gonna change. So I've been doing nothing but watching tape on Yoel's last like 6 fights. His last few UFC fights, you don't really get a whole lot from because he does so much ground and pound and stuff. But the 2 dirty boxing fights, you can get some movement on, you can get some ideas of what he's doing, and you can still just pay attention to some of his boxing throughout the rest of his fights. Probably exactly what I'm going to do is just keep watching tape, just keep trying to find tendencies, keep trying to see like hidden things that he doesn't realize he's doing and try and find a way to exploit it. That's pretty much what it's going to take to beat Yoel. I don't think anyone's going to go in there and one-shot Yoel Romero. Like you guys said, he's a specimen. There's a lot of people that wonder if he's even a human being sometimes, joking around. But I do believe that his boxing is susceptible to being beat by somebody else who's got good boxing. Now, this is BKFC. Obviously, you can't go out there and you can't go hit a guy 500 times like you can with 8-ounce boxing gloves. So you got to be a little more selective about your shots. You got to make sure that your shots are hitting the points on their body that are going to do a lot of damage. Aim for the eyes, aim for the nose, do anything to take away his sight away from him. Hopefully open him up so that way his bleeding goes into his eyes. Just make it so difficult for him that it's going to be hard for him to compete. That's going to be what that beats Yoel. It's not going to be the guy that comes in and one-shots him. It's going to be the guy that comes in and puts together the right kind of game plan, his movement, his footwork, his punches, counter punches, letting Yoel swing himself crazy. Because, there's been a few times when he's gotten tired later in the rounds in UFC. He's put some big punches out there. If they would have connected, they would have hurt, but they missed, and you can watch him kind of get more and more flat-footed after that. So that's pretty much the game plan. I've been working on my cardio and my speed for the last 3 months, and I don't want this fight to be over in the first or second round. If it does, great. I knock him out, awesome. If he knocks me out, shitty. But it's more like I want this to go 3rd, 4th, maybe even the 5th round, because I feel like the deeper waters I drag him into, the more footwork he's going to have to, or the more footwork he's going to lose and the more footwork I can apply. And anybody who knows boxing, if footwork is your offense, footwork is your defense, footwork is your attacking, footwork is your everything. And so I feel like that's his weakness, and that's what I can go ahead and go and exploit.
Remember the footwork he showed in the Izzy Adesanya fight?
Yeah.
Dude,
Remember
that was
that
such a weird fight. That was the
weird. So he might
that's what I think of.
Mike, he might be in the 2 weirdest fights we've ever seen in our lives.
He might be in the 2 weirdest fights in UFC history.
You're right. Yeah. The Stoolgate fight and that fight.
And that
it
fight.
Was just
when he stood in one place and was taking a couple steps, turning like a robot.
Imagine if he does that shit.
That's what I'm saying. Is you see him do that, not in just a fight here and a fight there. You see those kind of tendencies come out of him, usually later rounds in most of his fights. And I think that's what I'm going to need to beat him. Is I'm going to have to find those moments. I'm going to have to exploit them, and then I'm going to have to build them. I'm going to have to make those moments happen. And then once they happen, I got to exploit them, and then I got to break them down. This is I'm treating this fight with Yoel as if it's a puzzle. It's going to be a 1,000-piece puzzle, and I got to make sure each piece fits perfectly in order for it to break them down. If I end up getting the knockout, that's great. But I'm not betting that I'm going to go out there and just go one-shot him just because he is who he is. He's one of the toughest fighters there's ever been in the history of combat sports. So I don't think it's realistic for me to say, yeah, I'm just going to go crack him. I'm just going to go crack him. I'm just going to go crack him. That's what a lot of other fighters would say. That's what a lot of other fighters are going to go out there to go do. But I feel like I got to be smarter than that with this fight. I got to be able to bring something else to the table that other people aren't seeing. I got to bring something else to the table that other people aren't preparing for. And I think that's what's going to win it for me.
I think that you said something smart in all of that. When you were talking about aiming for his eyes, aiming for his nose, this sport, more than any other combat sport, if you aim for the real susceptible spots to cut and above the eyes with the bare knuckle, we always say that body shots in bare knuckle are different, and they're so important, and you need to land body shots. I don't know how much body shots are going to work on Yoel Romero because of what we've talked about. He's a specimen. He's a fucking brick wall. He's made of steel. He's a Terminator, whatever, all that shit. But you know what? One thing that he has that everyone else has is skin that will cut. And if you aim above his eyes and with the bare knuckle, you can cut him on his eyebrows or on his eyelids or something like that. And that can absolutely get him out of there. That is a That is a piece of this sport that is different from every other sport. You know what I mean? The cuts are real. They happen a lot. And if you place in like we've preached it so many times on this show, precision. And you know what? It's an old fucking saying by Conor McGregor. Precision beats power. Timing beats speed. Precision beats power. Timing beats speed. So if you just time it right and place it correctly above an eye, that can end a fight. And it's that simple. It's that simple. It's amazing the science or the sweet science of this sport compared to every other sport. It really is different.
Well, it's just not being hit. You got
it's different in the aspect of actually hitting too, because for instance, if you got 4-ounce gloves on, man, I could blast you in the forehead and go after your eye as hard as I want. And I can do it over and over and over again. My hand's protected. I can't do that in bare knuckle. I got to be smart enough to hit hard enough to be able to split him, but I can't break my hand on a skull. Mm-hmm. So like there's a yin to the yang on that. Like this is how you win. This is what you go and do, but you got to be careful because if you do it just wrong, just a little bit, my fist is turned this much instead of turned down, or I'm connecting with these knuckles instead of connecting with these knuckles. All of a sudden I got a boxer's fraction. And those are going to be so much easier to get in a BKFC fight than it would be in a boxing match because you got so much hand wraps holding everything together tight for you. We're not going to have that on this. So yeah, I want to aim for the eyes, but I got to be careful not to blast the forehead. The frontal lobe of the forehead, that's like the hardest part of the brain. And there's boxers out there that actually put it out there in time hitting your fist so they can break your knuckles.
You know who we met in Alabama for the second event we ever covered live in Birmingham, Alabama, BKFC 17. It was the second live event we ever went to, and at about 2:30 a.m. at a random bar right around the corner from the hotel we were all staying at, we ran into a guy named Tony Loco Soto. Never had fought in the BKFC one time, told us he didn't want to do podcasts, and maybe he'd try out fighting. He did box, but maybe he'd fight in the BKFC, but he wasn't positive yet. And he was telling Kyle that he would take it, and he was like, put your hand out like this, put your arm out like you're gonna jab me.
He kept telling me, he's like, jab me in the forehead, jab me in the forehead. I'm like, I'm not gonna jab you in a fucking bar, dude. I'm not doing that. I don't even know. I barely know him.
Yeah,
real quickly that could turn into a bad ordeal,
right? Yeah. He's like, just do it, just jab me. And he was like look, this is what I do. He grabs Kyle's hand and he's like pushing his head into. He's like, I will fucking smash my head and break their knuckles on my skull and jam their elbow. What was he saying?
Dude,
I was cracking up, man.
It was hilarious. I don't remember the whole
so
thing,
long ago.
He kept telling me, he's like, I will headbutt your hands and I will fuck you up and then I will fuck you out. Mike Perry says the same thing. And you know what? And it's funny because everything you just said, he said, I'll break your hands with my face, and then I'll break your face with my hands. That's what Mike Perry says.
That sounds like also, Mike Perry.
Yes, but also we talked to Mike after his first BKFC event, and everything you just said is 100% true. Because if you don't go into this sport smart about your approach, Mike admittedly said, I went in there just fucking winging punches, like thinking I could just wing punches, overhand, just throw bombs and just take this kid out. His hands were so hurt by the fourth round that he said, I didn't want to make a fist anymore. My hands hurt so bad. All I wanted to do was slap box. And if you go back to that Julian Lane fight in the fifth round, he gets warned for slapping. Perry's slapping him in the face. And the ref is like, stop it, ball your hands up. And he's like, I can't. His fucking
They're probably swollen at that point.
Yeah, his hands were so fucked up. He was like, they hurt so bad, I couldn't curl my fingers in anymore. So like, I just started open hand slapping him, and then he got called out for it. So he had to change his approach. It was crazy, man.
I'm curious though, what kind of hand conditioning he did before the fight. Like if he was out there with the mentality,
Probably didn't do any.
Throw anything. Yeah. That's and see my entire fight camp. Like so, I was supposed to fight Alessio Sakara on July 25th, but the Pennsylvania Athletic Commission didn't like the fact that I didn't have enough boxing under my belt. They didn't really want that matchup to happen, so they're the ones who actually pulled that matchup. But when I got the contract offer for that was back in I want to say the last week of May. So from May all the way through to now, I've been in a fight camp. Even though Alessio fell through and I didn't get to fight him, he went and fought was it Lozano, I think. Then it was literally a week later they offered me Yoel. And so I think part of the reason why I took it was because I'd already been in a fight camp for 6 weeks. I was ready to fight. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I'll just take
So that was in May? You said you got offered that in May.
Yeah.
So you've been in camp since May, June, July, August, September.
I've been doing
almost 6 months of a fight camp.
I've been doing 6 days a week since from the last week of May all the way to about the second week of August. And that was when me and my coaches decided, I'm in shape. My cardio is good. It's just all fundamentals and technique at this point. We don't need to do the 2-a-days as much. Let's start recovering the body. Let's start getting healthy. Because I was kind of breaking myself down a little bit. Practices, I was coming in limping and I was hurt. And I took the softness of my body, beat the shit out of it, and then I came back hard. That's exactly what this camp was. And so the last few weeks of this camp has been strictly game planning, technical, fundamental, and what I believe is going to beat Yoel. So we've been working on it that entire time. But yeah, I did a legit 3 months of 6 days a week, cutting weight, getting ready for this fight. Because Alessio, I was supposed to fight at they wanted that one at 205. And so I was down for that. So I started working on cutting down to 205 right away. But then this is the funny thing about the Yoel fight. Yoel fights his entire career in the UFC at 185. And then he goes and fights these dirty boxing fights at quote unquote heavyweight, but he's 215, 220. They didn't want to go below 215. I wanted it to be 205, but they're like, no, we're going to go 215 as the lowest, is all the lowest Yoel will go. So I'm thinking to myself, this guy has fought 185 for the majority of his career, probably walking around at 245, 250 right now, and doesn't want to cut down to 205. When the contract gets offered, we got 9 weeks to go. So he has more than enough time to be able to diet and get himself down to it if he wants to. He just didn't want to. So I don't know if that means he's taking me lightly, he doesn't really care, or if that's just he doesn't want to put in the work and actually get down to 205. But either way, it just seemed kind of odd to me that someone who fights at such a low weight is shooting to try and bring someone else to such a higher weight.
Okay. All right. That surprises me because I thought this fight, when we were in, Mike, what was the last event we went to?
Sturgis.
When we were in Sturgis, we asked, will Yoel's fight be heavyweight? And they said, no, cruiser.
That's right.
And we were like, oh, we thought it was going to be heavyweight. They said, no, cruiser. And I said, okay, what about Thiago Santos? And they said, no, Thiago Santos will be fighting heavyweight. Yoel will be fighting cruiser.
Yeah.
And now, yeah. Okay. So now, all right. I'm a little confused.
Yeah, I wanted 205. I'm a 205 fighter in MMA for my entire pro career. So going up to a heavyweight all of a sudden to me, I'm like, let's just go 205. That's what I am. That's what you guys signed me on. That's what you told that my management team was trying to sell me at 205 fights to try and get me matchups. It just seems awkward that 215 ended up being the weight and his camp didn't want to go below that.
Interesting. Very interesting, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a huge opportunity for Theo Doukas. And I got to ask you about your nickname. Yes. What is Kratarias mean?
The Greek?
What does that mean?
No, okay. So I'm a writer, and I wrote a novel, my first novel that I finished back in 2015. Yeah, I got the certificate for it and everything. I just kind of put it on the back burner about actually getting it published because I've been so focused on writing.
It's not published. All right.
No, it's not published.
Is it fiction? Is it fiction?
Yeah, it's a fiction. Think of it as a cross between Lord of the Rings and Spartacus.
Oh, nice. That's what I'm into.
So Kratarias is just a character I came up with who's a very, very
Okay.
badass character, mind you. He can slaughter a whole hordes of people if he wants to. And it's just kind of crazy. It's like as I was writing that book, I felt like I was kind of describing me in like some of the personal aspects. And I was like, you know what, this is my fight name. It's just something about it just clicked. I was like, yeah, this is
Dude,
totally
and
my
you
fight
just and your nickname is the name of the main character in your novel.
Yeah.
I love it.
Nice.
Dude,
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
love
going
that
to tell you,
too.
you want to know something cool, Theo? When Mike and I were deployed 2012-13, the entire cast of Spartacus came and visited us on post.
Oh, that's
Yes.
cool.
Yeah. And
So you got
know
to
what's
meet Andy
really
Whitfield?
No,
hold on.
it was Andy Whitfield had passed at that
okay.
point. It was
So
the
you got
new
to,
it was the new
Liam
Spartacus.
McIntyre. That's the guy
Yes.
who took over.
But all the but like Crixus and all the women were there and
Oh, want to know
Gannicus.
what's really funny? Okay, picture, obviously we're deployed, okay? So we've been away from home for, at that point, it had been probably about 3 months, right? So everybody's like very friendly because we're all, you know what I mean? We're all really starting to learn, meet each other, really become friendly. This is where I met Kyle. I met Kyle on deployment in 2012. I did not know him before then. His wife is also, Kyle's wife is in the military too. I did know his wife, but I did not know him. So we met on like pre-mobilization, and then during, we became friends because we're like, oh, you like fucking MMA? I like MMA. You like 90s rap? I love 90s rap. Like, you want to go fucking smash watermelons in the garage and do karate or whatever? Let's do it. We became best friends. But like, so everybody has, when you get deployed, everybody has a fucking hard drive just filled with music and movies and whatever else, right? We didn't have Netflix and all. I mean, Netflix was a thing, but it was like, it wasn't like great. So everyone trades their stuff. So like Spartacus, I remember one guy was watching Spartacus and then another person, everybody's talking about it. So I'm like, give me the Spartacus season. So now I got the season. Now Kyle's got. So everybody we're deployed with pretty much is watching Spartacus, either watched it, is watching it, or has a, so then just crazy. They go, oh, the cast of Spartacus is doing an MWO tour and they're going to be at the Zone
USO,
1
USO.
USO. And they're going to be at the MWO Center or whatever, right? And we're like, MWR. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That's fucking crazy because this show like wasn't new at the time. Like it was not that new. So we were like blown away.
It was a big part of our deployment. Yeah, it was like everybody was watching that shit, and then all of a sudden they're like,
so random.
They're like, yes, Saturday the cast of Spartacus will be here, and then like we bring we had a group of friends that we hung out with when we were off. We have our duty hours and then off hours, and it's like we go down there, and dude, the funniest part about the whole damn thing was like, we're a bunch of dudes, right? And our wives are at home and our girlfriends are at home. I was married. Mike was with his wife now back home.
Yeah. I wasn't even engaged yet. Yeah.
So it's like we're in the Middle East and like, bunch of sexually frustrated adults in the middle.
And how that show is.
Yeah. And you know how that show
my
is.
uncle calls it Fornicus.
Yeah. So we go visit, we go see the cast of Spartacus, and they're doing a meet and greet. They're shaking hands, they're taking pictures with everybody. They're the coolest people. Like they were so nice to everybody. The female soldiers, man, they were fucking crazy.
They were
they were smitten big time, man. They were like for the guy actors.
Crixus.
Those boys could have done anything they wanted out there.
It was so funny. We got a couple of them.
Yeah, we were busting balls so bad with all the female soldiers. We were like, you fucking guys, you guys couldn't contain yourself. It was crazy.
You know how they do the dialogue in that show? How it's like kind of an old English.
Good Batiatus.
Yeah, the way they say things, like instead of saying thank you,
finally,
gratitude.
What does he say? Finally, the gods pull cook from us.
Yeah, stuff like that, right? So I would listen to Spartacus in the audio version while I was typing, and I was applying that same kind of dialogue into my book as well. Nice. So they speak almost kind of like they do in Spartacus, except for it's a little more modern when it comes to the cussing part, whenever they're like swearing at each other and stuff. But I mean, it's like there's a lot of my book that is like completely written around like the aura
influence.
It's
very much influence. That's awesome, man. Well, hey,
the cool thing is being a fighter, and I get to write the fighting scenes. I get to lay out in detail exactly how the fighting scenes go, as if I'm fighting it, as if I'm the one throwing the punches, throwing the kicks, throwing everything. Because I've been training for so many years, I know how to do that. And I've had people who've read it. They've read my manuscript. I've had probably 30 or 40 people read my manuscript. They're all saying like, "Wow, your fighting scenes are really, really intricate. You're like, you really feel like you're in there." I'm like, I feel like the reason why I can do that is because of my 20 years of fighting.
That is awesome. I mean, I hope you get it published and it makes it out there, because we'll check it out for sure.
That's going to be the fallback for after I retire. See, the plan was if fighting never actually submitted to anything like I'm trying to make it do on Friday. Like if I don't ever get big with it, it doesn't become something I can make money off or whatever, then I retire from competition when I get too old, and I got the book, and I can go ahead and throw that into publishing and see what that does.
What's the name of the book?
The Fallen Kingdom.
The Fallen Kingdom. Yeah, you guys, I feel like we all got to know Theo Doukas pretty good tonight. And I like, for anybody that was like, who the hell is this guy fighting Yoel Romero on Friday night? Now you know. Thank you so much for coming on here tonight, opening up with us a little bit. We got to know you a little. I wish we were going to be in Florida. We love going to Hollywood Hard Rock. What's up, Mike? You got? Oh, there it is.
I found it.
Nice.
I found it while you guys were talking. There you see Kyle there to the left.
That's
and
crazy.
And then there's me in the middle.
Yeah. And Manu Bennett in the middle with two girls.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? Yeah.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Isn't that crazy?
And actually,
that is
1,
awesome.
2, 3, 4, 5 of us are still in the military. And 1, 2, 3, 4 of us still work together every day. Yep.
Hey, I come from a military family. My grandfather was in Vietnam. My older uncle was in Korea, and then my grandfather's son, or my uncle, was in Desert Storm. When I initially graduated high school, I wanted to go play football because I was pretty good at playing running back and middle linebacker, but I blew my knee out. And I tore my ACL, my MCL, my LCL, and had to have reconstructive surgery. But that killed my scholarship opportunity, like right out the door. And then so I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to do the family thing. Go in the military. Oh no, the Army doesn't want you if you have torn ligaments in your knee. They wouldn't let me come in. So pretty much I was kind of stuck. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, well, what am I going to do? I had college lined up with football, but now that's out the door. And then I was thinking, well, go do the family thing with military, and that's out the door. So it's just kind of like, it was kind of kismet, because right about that same time that it happened, all of a sudden MMA starts exploding up in the Pacific Northwest. And Spokane's got like 4 shows. Seattle's got a couple shows. Oregon's got some shows going on. And I'm just like, well, I've got 17 seasons of wrestling experience from junior high, high school, grade school, and stuff like that. And I was like, let's go see what my wrestling can do. That's initially what got me into fighting.
And Chael
It's
Sonnen.
funny how things work out. Yeah, Chael Sonnen. Yeah, Chael Sonnen.
Right?
Chael Sonnen. No, man, that's awesome. Hey, listen, you're a very interesting dude. I hope I wish you the best on Friday night. Tomorrow you got the weigh-ins. Do your thing at the weigh-ins. At the ceremonial weigh-ins, I mean, try to behave yourself, but anything viral is always good too.
That's
So
right.
thank you so much for coming on here and opening up with us. Like, for real, this was really great. And we wish you the best. We'll give you a minute here. Anything you want to say, send a message to the fans, the BKFC brass, Yoel, anybody you want to send a message to. Go ahead right now.
Well, the one thing I want to get out there is go give me a follow at Kratarias MMA on Instagram. Look up Kratarias on Snapchat. If you want to hit me up with some questions about fighting or life, whatever, I'm always down for talking. And then go to my Facebook, Theo Kratarias Doukas, and you can always be up to speed with all the events that I'm doing. Not just being a fighter, I'm a fight promoter, so I also promote a lot of fights and bring a lot of fighters in. Like, I'm trying to get the whole fight world in the Pacific Northwest as like one whole unit instead of having teams all over the place. And then the one thing I got to say to Yoel is I'll see you Friday.
You guys are in for a treat on Friday night, I swear to God. Theo, you got targets on you. You go out there, you perform on Friday. I'm sure you're going to be busy afterwards, no matter what. Win, lose, or draw, you are going to be busy after this fight for sure. Thank you so much for coming on. Mike, do you got anything else for him?
Theo, thank you so much. It was our pleasure to speak to you tonight. It definitely was cool to get to know you. I'm very intrigued by the book. I do love reading, and I would like to read that book at some point.
Shoot me your email, and I will. I'll get you a copy of the manuscript. You can read it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Absolutely. We will. Everybody else, September 12th. It's now less than 48 hours away. Romero versus Doukas. Heavyweight bout.
I'm excited. I really am.
Heavyweight. Light side of heavyweight. Light heavyweight, but not light heavyweight, right?
Yeah,
so
a little heavier than that.
yeah. So make sure you guys are tuned in. It's gonna be a crazy card. The card is awesome, topped off by the rematch between Perdomo and Adams. Man, what a card that's going to be. It's going to be great. This is the feature fight, guys. Make sure you're paying attention. Theo Doukas, thank you so much, and we will see you soon. Sorry we couldn't be there, but I'm sure we'll run into you again in the future.
You guys know you're going to watch it.
Oh, we're going to watch it.
We're
going to be watching it, but we won't
Thanks
be
for having
live,
me, guys.
you
I
know?
appreciate it. This was fun.
All right. Take it easy,
man, it was
Theo. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Have
All
a good
right,
one, guys.
everybody else, stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, what's up, BKFC fan? This is Russ, aka Mr. Extra. Got my boy here, Carlos, CNC Management, #1 management team in BKFC right now.
Know that.
We want to give a shout out to Mike and Mish, #1 podcast in the fucking world.
Know that.
Ain't nobody touching them.
Period.
Love you guys. We're here at Clearwater Fight Night Clearwater at the Fighter Hotel. Waiting for the fighters to come in. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Love y'all. A little throwback to
y'all.
Russ. Hey, this was a cool show, Mike.
Yes,
It was a good time to have Mikey back with us. I mean, I missed you, man.
Yeah, I missed the show. I felt like I was in another world for a bit, but I'm back into this world, back into the world of Bare Knuckle and Mike and Mish and all the people who watch a show that we have grown to love, except Large Benjamin. I could go an extra couple of days without Large Benjamin. Just kidding. Gotta bust Large Benjamin.
Hey, listen, Lex Ludlow, charismatic, 2-0, got a lot of shit to say. He was in the comments afterwards talking all kinds of shit.
Yes.
Theo. So, thank you to Lex. I hope he gets a fight soon. Reid, Krasowski, the Spaz, he's got a huge opportunity on his hands for a kid that nobody knows from Saskatoon, Canada, to be able to step on the ice.
Saskatchewan.
Saskatoon. For with an opportunity like that to step on the ice in the house of the Stanley Cup champions and fight a UFC veteran like Charles Rosa, huge opportunity for him. So thank you to him for coming on tonight. And Theo Doukas, man, I didn't know anything about that guy until we just had that conversation, and I feel like he is a pretty fucking cool dude, and he has a massive opportunity on his hands 2 nights from now.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, it was awesome. And this is why we do this show, because we talk to people that you would normally not hear from, and we get to learn about his life and what he does, what he loves, and what he wants to do. So very cool.
Absolutely. Hey, so for everybody else, make sure you're paying attention. We brought the fight card up a couple minutes ago with Theo. Friday night. It is a massive card in Hollywood, Florida. It is headlined by Perdomo Adams again. We have Plazola versus Gary Fox. What a fucking fight that is.
Mm-hmm.
The fight before Theo and Yoel, dude, Jeremy Smith and David Simpson, another banger. We got the debut of Kimbo Slice Jr. against Derek Perez, aka Busy Bone. B3, Bobby Henry, Bryce's brother. There's so much hype about him,
dude. His first fight in the BKFC was fucking insane, right?
Yeah, right. I listen. I hope he doesn't slap me for saying this, but that sucked. That fight was pretty shitty.
Yeah,
up until he knocked that dude out cold.
I know.
It was amazing. Like
God.
we were like, what is all the hype? I don't understand it. What's going on here? What the hell are we watching? And then boom, he knocks the dude out. It was great.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you guys got yourself, you got Reid on there. You got freaking Garcia back on there against Austin Lewis. It's like,
oh, yeah.
This is a great card.
Good.
And I wish we were going to be there, Mike, but we're not. We're going to be home. I got drill.
That's
you
right.
got drill.
Yep. Sorry, guys. Always on the grind.
Life of the Army guy. I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Always on the grind, baby.
So, hey, before we leave, we got to let you guys know you got to get over to Full Blast Clothing on Instagram. Give them a follow. Go to www.fullblastclothing.com. Buy some of their stuff, man. Their clothes are comfortable as hell. They're for the fighters. They're for the fight fans. They sponsor a lot of champions, Dave Mondell, Jessica Borga, and many others. And they are proud sponsors of the Mike and Mish show. And look at Mike over there with the hoodie. So
that's right,
Mike. With that said, I don't got much else to say. It was a somber day in the world of the United.
Back to reality.
Back to reality. And it was a somber day for the United States of America. But it was good to be back on here with 3 great guests and having you back, Mike. I missed you, buddy. But now you're a trained up master sergeant, so you know what's next. You're gonna be a fucking first sergeant soon, my friend.
Oh boy, yeah.
You're gonna be in charge. You're gonna be in charge of an entire company. You're gonna have a bunch of platoon sergeants that you got to deal with. You got to do a bunch of shit. It's gonna be great. You're gonna love it. I'm telling you.
Probably gonna have to give a couple of people some of these.
Yeah, a couple of these.
Right in the kisser.
Yep. So, with that said, you got anything else for these peoples?
Nah, you know what I have, guys, and it's been a little while, but we'll see you next week.